Hey, Patrick, looking at the Bills game and just how intense it was and how stressful, there's been some information that was put out about your heart rate during that game. What about, these situations? How do you stay so calm and collected during stressful games like that?
I think it's a little bit of a couple things. First off, I've been in some of these situations before now. I've played in some big games and had to make some comebacks, and I know I have the teammates to do it. So I mean, I know that what it takes to go out there and find a way to win. And then I think just preparation. I mean, we prepare for those moments throughout the whole entire season with Coach Eric Bieniemy, and he puts us in situations where we have to execute at a high level and not favorable situations. And so I think preparation and then experience definitely helps me in those moments.
Let's go next to Herbie Chiopi. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Patrick, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Hey, I'm well, thanks. McCole Hardman, Byron Pringle, Demarcus Robinson this past year and even into the playoffs. What kind of luxury is it for you to have those kinds of weapons and you can rely on them outside of just throwing it to Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, I mean, I think not only having them and all their different skill sets that they have where they can make big plays happen and everything like that, but just the relationships that I've built with those guys over the years. I mean, guys like Byron Pringle, I mean, I've thrown to him for 3 or 4 years now. Demarcus Robinson, same thing. And then McCole, I've been with him since he's entered the NFL. So just knowing where they're going to be at, knowing how they play, and developing those relationships and that chemistry with them, I think helps out a ton when you're out there on the football field.
Let's go next to Sarin Tetro. Go ahead, Sarin.
Hey, Brad, yeah. Sorry, Brad. You didn't have me unmuted. I apologize. Patrick, the comment was made by Joe Burrow about Arrowhead not being as loud as SEC stadiums. You've been around some loud stadiums in college, been around most of the NFL ones. How does Arrowhead's noise compare, and is he in for a rude awakening?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in some pretty loud stadiums. I've played in a couple SEC stadiums. I mean, Arrowhead's pretty loud. I don't think you can get around that, and I'm sure it'll be pretty loud this weekend. They're a great football team. They're coming in trying to win a big football game. But I'm glad we're at Arrowhead and we have a chance to use our crowd to our advantage on trying to find a way to get a win.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Patrick, you and Kelsey talked after the game about improvising on that play right before the Butker's tying field goal there late in the fourth quarter. Just curious, how often do you do that? And do you do it with have you improvised with anyone else besides Kelsey? And Brad, I'll have a quick follow-up as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that during the game. It's not necessarily on the field every single time. There's a lot of times we get back on that tablet. We talk about different routes that we have. The great thing about this offense is a lot of the stuff looks the same. It comes from different formations that we can kind of read off what the defense is doing. And everybody has their input. And I think that's what makes us such a great team and a great offense is that we have communication throughout the entire game. And then we go out there and execute at a high level because Coach Reed gives us that freedom.
Okay, and I meant to ask you this after the game, but a lot going on after that game. I wanted to ask you about your first touchdown pass in the game against Buffalo to Pringle. How did you see him? Can you kind of take us through that play? It looked like you kind of had your back turned. I don't know how you really saw him. You take us through that play?
Yeah, it was actually off the play we ran in Carolina a couple years back where I motioned and caught the ball and then kind of spun back around and make the throw to D-Rob. So we definitely the read was kind of Tyreek to Pringle, and they kind of gave us a zero look. So I knew I wasn't going to have a lot of time. So I was just trying to race back and give my guy a chance to make a play. And Pringle went up there and made a tough catch between two defenders.
Next, Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Patrick, I mean, as you know, you guys went from 3-4 to hosting the AFC title game. I know you were seeing certain defensive looks that were some struggles for you early on. Andy pointed toward this being a team thing that you had to figure out. What did you see from some of your teammates as you guys were going through these struggles that kind of led you through here?
Yeah, I think I saw the persistence and the championship swagger, I guess you would say, of the team that we have. Guys didn't hang their head. They just wanted to get better. Every single day they came out to practice and we learned how to execute versus these looks that we were getting. I think that process of every day of getting better and better has put us in this situation now. And we don't want to come up short. We want to keep this process going, take every day and get better and try to leave our best football out there on the football field.
Let's go next to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Brad, I'll have a couple things. Patrick, at what point did you turn your attention to Cincinnati, and in what manner did you turn your attention to this game?
I mean, I did when I came in on Monday morning. You kind of you celebrate with your family and everything for that big win that we had. It was an awesome game that we'll remember forever. But I mean, we're not done. I mean, we're trying to go out there and win the AFC Championship and then try to get to the Super Bowl. And we understand that this is a great football team we're going up against. They've already beat us once this year. And if we don't give everything we have in preparation during the week, then we're not going to win at the end of the week. So I kind of turned the page quickly, and I'm ready to go. Just try to keep getting better every single day.
And then you mentioned Eric Bieniemy's meetings, those meetings you guys have on Friday that discusses late game situations. Can you sort of reveal what takes place in those meetings, I guess, without giving away exactly your game plan?
Yeah, you go through every type of situation. I mean, you go through the situation we were in, trying to need a field goal and get it, and where we have timeouts and we can use the middle of the field. We also go through situations where we don't have timeouts. We need to get out of bounds or find a chunk play and get up and spike the ball. I mean, so you have to be able to go through every single situation that you can be put in, and they do a great job of doing that. We have plays called for every situation, and everybody understands it. And that's why I think you saw the communication between the whole entire offense, knowing exactly what we needed and to get in Butker's field goal range and tie the game up.
We'll take three more, starting with Vahe. Go ahead, Vahe.
Hey, Patrick. Brad, I'll have a follow-up also. Patrick, you've spoken about this before, but and nothing against obviously all the other guys who've emerged, but I wonder if you can account in some way for the mind meld you seem to have with Travis and Tyreek in particular. What it takes to have that feeling with them.
Yeah, I mean, it just takes a lot of reps. Just going out there and seeing a lot of different coverages. The good thing about being in this offense with these guys that we have is we've seen pretty much every single coverage you could possibly see. And so if guys have seen those, they recognize those on the field, and they know how to get themselves open within the system of the offense. And I think that's what you see. I mean, even on the play to Travis, he knew what the other guys had on the play, so he knew he could do that. He could go down the seam and get the catch. And you have to be able to not only know what you have, but everybody else in the entire offense has. And that just comes with guys that learn the offense and learn it the right way.
And the other question, it's maybe it's ancient history to you, but I'm curious if you can remember how much Brett Veach was on your trail before you guys got drafted, and just the degree of interest that he was showing, whether you knew it then or heard about it now, because it sounds like it was pretty intense.
Yeah, no, he for sure was. I mean, that's the type of guy that Veach is. I mean, he's someone who he wants to go out there and get the best players possible he can get in this building. He trusts the players in this building to go out there and play to their best performance every single day. And he wants to win just as much as anybody. And I think that's how he goes about scouting and finding players. And he's done a great job of getting a lot of great players here.
Last two quick ones. We'll go James and then Jeremy. Go ahead, James.
Patrick, at this point in your career, and you talked Sunday night, just going, I can't wait to get back in the film room. What do you do by yourself, and how much of the film study you do alone has paid off on Sundays? Can you kind of take us through the week of what you do away from the facility and how much film you watch?
Yeah, I mean, I got a good mentor in Alex on how to get into the film room and learn how to study defenses. And so I've kind of used that and kind of turned it into my own different direction of how I can study and get the film done. And we have a great quarterback room where Chad Henne and Shane Buechele. I mean, they're in there with me every single time I'm in that film room, and they throw out what they see, I throw out what I see, and we get a good game plan before the actual game plan's in of what we want to do that week. And Coach Reed does a great job of helping me letting me have my input on the offense as well and my ideas. And then they go out there and they come up with a great game plan. And I think when you have that communication, during the game, what plays are getting called, why they're getting called, and you go out there and have success.
We'll ask to Jeremy Fowler. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Hey, Patrick, you and Joe Burrow, I believe, were like 3-star recruits, were maybe, not ranked as highly as some others coming into college. How does that shape a young quarterback's career when you're maybe overlooked a little bit?
I think it just makes you hungry. I mean, whenever you think that you should be getting those offers and getting to go to the schools that you wanted to go to when you were young, and you're not getting offers, I think it makes you hungry. And luckily enough for me, when Coach Kingsbury offered me at Texas Tech, I knew that's the place that I wanted to go, just because of the community that they had out there, and Coach Kingsbury and the way he coached football. And so whenever you get that chance, you want to make the most of it. You want to make sure you prove those guys right, that believe in you. And I think that's what you see with some of these quarterbacks, some of these players that are in these big games. Is a lot of not very highly recruited guys that had that hunger and that drive to go out there and prove the people that believe in them right.